Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari and today I want to give you a 5-step formula. The 5-step formula given in the Bhagavad Purana by the great sage Kardama Muni to his wife Devahuti, and they are going to become parents of the great avatar Kapila. So they're very important personages in the Bhagavad Purana. Now he gives his wife this 5-step formula which massively, just so quickly elevates your consciousness, elevates you from suffering to well-being to spiritual freedom. And I'm going to give that to you right now. So let's get started. So the first step, and I'm going to be using some Sanskrit words here so you get the same, so we get a little closer to the original formula. First step, Damena. Damena means self-control. It's very interesting as the first thing is self-control. Of course, this is a huge point in yoga. In general, we're always talking about self-control because what's the point of saying anything else if you can't do anything about it, right? I mean, it's like, let's say I'm giving you directions for driving somewhere. What's the point of telling you, oh yeah, take this left here, go down this avenue, take the highway? What's the point of giving you instructions if you can't drive a car? So first, you have to learn to control the car, be able to follow instructions. If you can't do that, that's it. It's gone. It's hopeless. There's nothing I can do for you, right? So the first thing yoga does is talk about Damena. Look, you have to take control of yourself, try to know what your mind is doing. Don't just surrender to your wildest desires and the demands of your senses. Take control of your life. So that's the first thing, Damena. Take control. Work on this control. Be the observer. There's all these techniques and ways of doing it, but be that person who is in control of what you're doing, what your thoughts, your words, your actions. Be in control of your life. Damena. Second, Niyama. Now, all those out there who have read Yoga Sutras, who are into yoga, you've heard the term Niyama. I've done videos on the term Niyama. Niyama, you'll remember from the Yoga Sutras, the 8 steps of yoga. Yama, Niyama. It's the second step. Niyama also comes up in Bhagavad Gita. Niyama is translated as observances, things you observe, things you will do to make your life better. So it's attention given to certain aspects of your life that you're purposely doing, consciously doing, because you want to live better. In the Yoga Sutras, we have in Niyama, we have cleanliness, for example. We have study of scriptures, study of yourself. You have study and you have contentment. You have these 3 items included in the Niyama definition of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. But of course, there are other interpretations. It's not limited to that. It's just this doing things which will be better for you, observing practices which will help elevate your mind. So Niyama. So now you control your mind and you're taking care of doing certain specific practices which help you elevate your mind. Niyama. Third, very important word, tapas in Sanskrit. This is a hugely important word. Tapas is so important and it's very difficult. It doesn't really translate at all. It's a very specific thing. I did a whole video on this topic of tapas, and in the description of this video, there's a link to that video, which I recommend you watch as well after this one. So tapas basically means, though, I like translating it as grit. If you have to just choose one English word, I like grit. But what it means is you do what's best for you. You're guided by doing the best thing you should do in that given situation. Not what's most convenient, not what you want to do, not avoiding something that's going to give you trouble or that you just don't feel like doing. None of that stuff. You're guided by what should be done. I use, kind of connected to tapas in our practice is the word dharma, which means purpose, which like what is my calling right now? What should I be doing according to who I am in this situation? What's my best response? So tapas means that you're always choosing the very best of you according to your situation. So that's the third thing, is tapas. So we had Damena, self-control. Niyama, now you're doing certain practices like cleanliness and contentment, so you elevate your consciousness. And then tapas, you're doing the best at all times. Then 4, this doesn't need translation, charity. Dana, it doesn't need, it's the same word, charity. Doing stuff with your money, and he specifically says with your money because she was a rich princess. He married this very rich cosmic princess. So says, do stuff with your wealth. Use your money and give it to other people. Now, why is that there? That's, in all traditions, in all religious traditions, charity is so emphasized because we get really attached. It's easy for the soul to become attached to things and to wealth, and we get greedy. So that's just a common, pitfall of material life. So what charity does is that it just counteracts that tendency of becoming attached and greedy to your money, to wealth, to things, because you're giving them away now. So like, not only you're not grabbing them, you're giving them away. So that energy kind of sets you back and makes you understand that there's, oh, wait a second, this is actually feels better to give in charity than to get. And then you start getting like, oh yes, in giving, is the real pleasure is in giving, is in helping. And then you get into the love, because love means, giving. It's a vector that comes out of you. It's doing stuff for the other person, not for yourself. It's breaking away from selfishness, from being selfish. So it's and just a great practice and so recommended in all traditions. So 4th was charity. And then 5th, of course, is bhakti. Bhakti, devotion. Of course, on top of all this, you're preparing the ground with all these other practices of Damena, self-control, Niyama, all these nice practices like cleanliness, tapas, doing the right thing, charity. You're doing all that so you can prepare the ground of your consciousness for the seed of bhakti. So you can plant the seed of bhakti, so you can develop that love of God, that devotion, that connection, your relationship with the divine, with Krishna, with God. You can develop that and feel the love and increase that connection and that love, which is the ultimate goal of all spirituality. So at the end, we have bhakti. So it's a beautiful sequence, isn't it? It's a wonderful sequence, and it really works. And you just start practicing this and you'll feel like it's just a quick way to elevate your consciousness to the highest levels. Let me know if you enjoyed this, if you understood, if you have any questions, leave your comments below, and have the rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love.